Raw 4 TV.
What's up, YouTube? This is 2 Raw 4 TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. All right, so let's get to this one. So, now that LeBron James is with the Philadelphia 76ers, one of the interesting arguments, and one of the things that's now being speculated is, well, what if LeBron wins back-to-back titles with the Philadelphia 76ers over the next couple of years? Of course, now he's teamed up with Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and VJ Edgecombe. And, of course, those would be championships number 5 and number 6. And if he did win back-to-back titles, then, of course, that would tie him with Michael Jordan. And that's what LeBron fans are now focusing on. Even though they spent the last couple of years led by their LaFleur and LeBron James dismissing ring culture, saying, championships are not the end-all, be-all. It should be about stats and numbers and personal accomplishment. Because really, their argument only goes as far as LeBron James's current situations. See, when he was stuck on teams that really had no, realistic shot at winning a title, at least what they thought, then they have to change the argument and perception. So now all of a sudden championships don't matter. It's more about numbers because that favors LeBron James over Michael Jordan, at least in their mind, when it comes to the GOAT argument. So now that he's on a super team, even though they'll tell you that he's not, they believe that favors LeBron James. Because now they'll say, well, guess what? He now has the exact same number of rings, and he has more accumulative stats. So that makes him the GOAT. So let's just go with this notion, right? Let's go with this argument that somehow over the next couple of years, LeBron James won championships number 5 and number 6. Let's look at this on LeBron's side. Number 1, he will have played 25 years. That's a quarter of a century, ladies and gentlemen. A quarter of a century. That would have been, from what I could decipher, off the top of my head, the second longest professional career of any athlete in a team sport that I can ever that I know of. The only one that played longer than that would be Nolan Ryan, who played for, I think it was 26 years. So that would be the longest professional career ever. 26, 27 years, one of the two. In that 25-year span, LeBron James will have played on 4 ready-made super teams. The Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Lakers, which was created with the help of the media, and now this team. Right? All types of Hall of Fame level players, right? If you count individually, he will have played with nearly 40 players who made all-star appearances. If you count them more than once, it comes up to 75 all-star level players, more than 75 that he's played with. That don't matter, okay? Compared to Michael Jordan, who played 15 seasons, 13 as a Bull, with 1 year being only 17 games because he was coming off of a retirement or suspension or whatever you want to call it. And he only played with one consistent all-star teammate, Scottie Pippen, who was not a ready-made NBA talent when he teamed up with Michael Jordan, as was LeBron with these other guys. But he's a guy that developed from a promising, lottery pick to a really good player. Sometimes borderlining on great, right? At times. There's no doubt about it, in all 6 championship runs, that Scottie Pippen was the sidekick. That's not always the case with LeBron James. There were times when you could look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis and say that he was better than LeBron James, especially after 2021, right? There were times. Luka Doncic's definitely better than LeBron James. Hell, in the pecking order, LeBron was after Austin Reeves, who has not even been officially an all-star yet. When LeBron James joined Dwayne Wade, the first couple years, their skill set, although different, as far as the pecking order, they were interchangeable. As a matter of fact, in 2011 NBA playoffs, and especially in the 2011 NBA Finals, LeBron James was not their best player. It was Dwayne Wade. In the finals, he clearly wasn't the best player. Michael Jordan has always been clearly the best player on the Chicago Bulls. Now, of course, he played with Tony Kukoc, Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong. Dennis Rodman, of course, is another Hall of Famer, but he had obvious holes in his game. But Michael Jordan only played with two 20-point scorers in his career. One was Scottie Pippen, and he only reached 20 points per game, I believe, 3 times playing with Mike. I think 1992, 1995, and 1997. And in 1995, Mike only played 17 of those 82 games. And Orlando Woolridge averaged 20 points per game with Michael Jordan in, I believe, 1985, and a handful of games he played with him in 1986. Whereas LeBron James has played with numerous guys who averaged 20 points per game. Anthony Davis. Luka Doncic averaged well over 30. Austin Reeves averaged over 20 this past year, right? Kyrie Irving had multiple 20 plus 25 point per game campaigns. Dwayne Wade as well. So LeBron James has played with numerous players who were prolific scorers, all-time great scorers, guys who won scoring titles, guys who won rebounding titles, as did Dennis Rodman, obviously, but guys who were in the running for MVP consideration, multiple players. Scottie Pippen was never really seriously an MVP candidate. So, LeBron fans will say, well, look, Michael supposedly benefited from expansion, right? Which we've already debunked and said that expansion, if anything, only improved NBA talent because the NBA draft was very strong. And of those expansion teams, only the Timberwolves stayed bad. And a lot of that had to do with, and I forgot to mention my other video, a lot of that also had to do with the fact that of the Joe Smith punishment as far as, going over the NBA cap. But when you look at all of the other teams, the Hornets, the Heat, uh, the Magic, all those teams were in the NBA Finals. All those teams went to the playoffs very early in their runs. They weren't teams that were perennial doormats like the Clippers, who've been there for decades. And these guys, all those teams, harbored great NBA talent very quickly. Even the Timberwolves, they got Kevin Garnett, right? Then you look at the Hornets, they had Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson and Muggsy Bogues, and Kendall Gill. You look at the Miami Heat, they had Glenn Rice and John Sally in the dispersal draft. They had Steve Smith. Glenn Rice, I didn't say his name already, right? Later on, they acquired Alonzo Mourning. So, the Orlando Magic, Shaq and Penny, they acquired Horace Grant, NBA champion from the Chicago Bulls. So, if you're going to make that argument for that, then we can counter by saying, well, what about the fact that LeBron won 2 of his championships in shortened seasons, 2012 and 2021, and 1 year where there was a bubble, where there was no road games, no crowds. There was a 4.5-month break in the season, which obviously helped Anthony Davis, who, as we saw throughout his tenure with the Lakers, consistently broke down during the second half of seasons and was unavailable or for stretches, and during the playoffs hobbled. So at the end of the day, even if LeBron won 6 championships, it's not the same, man. He's consistently had to play with super teams, with this being his most talented offensive super team. I mean, Kevin Durant is annoying, but Kevin Durant is right on the money. Like, you got Joel Embiid, who's just 3 years removed from the MVP award. Last year, averaged 27 points a game. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's coming off 28.3 points a game. VJ Edgecombe, third in rookie voting. You got Jaylen Brown, who averaged almost 29 points a game last year for the Boston Celtics, 2 years removed from a Finals MVP, and led an improbable season for the Celtics, winning 56 games. And all you've seen is the media trying to downplay all these guys' accomplishments to make it seem like LeBron's not playing with another super team. He'll never be a GOAT, man. He just stacking the deck. This is the penalty. And I'm not even talking about the obvious evidence of him engaging in activity that has extended his career artificially, which I think will get out eventually when these people turn on him, when he no longer becomes profitable for them. Man, that's all I got to say about Tim's guys thing.
Too raw for TV.